Put those down. Right now. I said put them down! Patricia Brennan's voice cuts like glass. She marches across her lawn toward two 10-year-old boys. She rips a string of Christmas lights from Jordan's hands. You think I'm stupid? I know theft when I see it. Little thugs like you come into nice neighborhoods, scout houses, steal whatever you can carry. Ma'am, please, Jordan starts. Shut your mouth. Don't you dare talk back to me. I don't know what kind of parents let their kids run around unsupervised, stealing from people's yards, but this ends now. Julian is crying. This is our house. We live here. Patricia laughs. It's cold. Mean. Your house? In Riverside Oaks? Do you know what homes cost here? Your people can't afford a mailbox in this zip code. I've called the police. They know me. My husband writes checks that pay their salaries. So you sit down, shut up, and wait. Their mother is 3 minutes away. Patricia Brennan has no idea what's about to walk through that door. 3 days earlier, Tanya Davis sits in a conference room on the 4th floor of the Riverside County Administration Building. Budget reports spread across the table in front of her. Line item 23 catches her eye. Police overtime. 3rd month in a row they're over budget. She circles it with a red pen. As county administrator, Tanya oversees $82 million. Every department, every contract, every paycheck. The police department answers to her office. Every badge they wear, every squad car they drive, every dollar of overtime they claim. She reviews it. She approves of it. Or she doesn't. She's been in this role for 6 years. Elected by 62% of voters in a county that's 48% white. People respect her work. She's fair, thorough. She pushes for reform, but stays pragmatic. When she speaks at county board meetings, people listen. But right now, she's not thinking about budgets. She checks her watch. 3:15. Jordan and Julian get home from school at 3:30. She wants to be there when they arrive. Her sons are 10 years old, twins. Both honor students, both on the youth basketball team, both obsessed with Christmas. They've been planning their yard decorations since Halloween. Jordan drew diagrams. Julian made lists. They saved their allowance to buy extra lights. This Saturday, they finally get to decorate. It's their favorite tradition. It's been their favorite tradition since they were 6. Tanya moved to Riverside Oaks 2 years ago. The neighborhood is exactly what she worked her whole life to afford. Tree-lined streets, well-maintained homes, good schools within walking distance, an HOA that keeps everything pristine. Mailbox colors are regulated. Lawn height is measured. Holiday decorations require approval. She knew moving here would be different. She knew some neighbors would notice. 5 black families have moved into Riverside Oaks in the past 3 years. She's watched how certain people react. Patricia Brennan noticed. Patricia is the HOA president. Retired real estate agent. 54 years old. Married to Gerald Brennan, who runs a property management company. They've lived in Riverside Oaks for 18 years. Patricia treats the neighborhood like her personal kingdom. Last October, Tanya received an email from the HOA. Noise complaint. Patricia reported excessive noise from Tanya's backyard. The timestamp said 4:30 on a Saturday afternoon. The excessive noise was Jordan and Julian playing basketball. 2 kids, laughing, in their own yard, in the middle of the afternoon. Tanya responded politely, explained her sons were just playing, kept it professional. Patricia responded within an hour. HOA rules apply to everyone equally. Riverside Oaks has standards. 2 weeks later, another email. Patricia attached a photo. Tanya's car is parked in her own driveway. The vehicle extends 6 inches past the property line. Please correct it immediately. Tanya measured. The car was fully on her property. She replied with her own photo, measurements included. Patricia didn't respond to that one. Then came Halloween. Jordan and Julian went trick-or-treating with 5 friends from school. All 10 years old, all black kids. They walked down Riverside Oaks Drive in their costumes, Spider-Man, Black Panther, a vampire, a zombie, a witch. 2 police cars showed up. Someone called about a suspicious group of juveniles. Tanya found out later. Patricia made the call. Nothing happened. The officers realized immediately it was just kids with candy bags. But Tanya remembers the look on Jordan's face when he came home. Confused, a little scared. He asked her why the police came. She didn't have a good answer. Not one a 10-year-old would understand. Now it's December, first Saturday of the month. Tanya finishes her budget review, closes her laptop. She texts Jordan. "On my way home, wait for me before you start decorating." Jordan replies with 3 Christmas tree emojis. She has no idea what's waiting for her. Saturday afternoon, December 7th, 2:45. Jordan and Julian burst out the front door, arms full of Christmas decorations, a box of LED lights, an inflatable Santa, 3 plastic reindeer, a tangled mess of extension cords. Jordan plugs his phone into a portable speaker. Jingle Bells starts playing. He turns it up. Julian laughs and starts singing along. Off-key. Loud. The way 10-year-olds sing when they're happy and nobody's watching. Except someone is watching. Patricia Brennan stands at her living room window, 2 houses down. She sees 2 black boys on the Davis lawn. She doesn't see children excited about Christmas. She sees something else entirely. She watches them unroll the lights. Watches Jordan try to untangle an extension cord while Julian holds up the inflatable Santa, trying to figure out where it should go. They're wearing matching Christmas sweaters, red and green, Rudolph on the front. Patricia watches for 5 minutes. Then 10, then 15. She picks up her phone, puts it down, picks it up again. At 3:15, she dials. 911, what's your emergency? I need to report a theft in progress. Patricia's voice is calm, controlled. She's done this before. 2 black juveniles are stealing Christmas decorations from a residence on Riverside Oaks Drive. Can you describe what you're seeing, ma'am? 2 boys, maybe 12 or 13 years old. They're taking items from the front yard, lights, decorations. They've been there for 30 minutes. They're being very bold about it. Just loading everything up. Are they putting items into a vehicle? No, they're just rummaging through everything. I think they're scouting the house, seeing what they can take. This is a very nice neighborhood. We've had problems with break-ins. The lie comes easy. There haven't been any break-ins. What's the address? Patricia gives the address, her own neighbor's house. She's reporting activity at Tanya Davis's home, a home she's walked past 100 times. A home with a welcome mat and a mailbox that says Davis family in neat letters. And you're certain these juveniles don't live there? Absolutely certain. I know every family on this street. These boys don't belong here. This neighborhood doesn't have those types of families. The dispatcher pauses, just for a second. Officers are en route. Patricia hangs up, walks to her front door, opens it, steps onto her porch. She wants to watch this. 3 minutes and 20 seconds later, a squad car turns onto Riverside Oaks Drive. Lights off. No siren, just the low rumble of the engine. Officer Brandon Hayes steps out. He's 34, 9 years on the force. He sees 2 black kids with their hands full of Christmas lights and decorations. He sees exactly what Patricia wanted him to see. Hey! You 2. Come here. Jordan looks up, confused. Us? Yeah. You. Come here. Now. Jordan and Julian walk toward the officer, slow, careful. They've never been in trouble. They don't know what they did wrong. What are you doing here? Hayes asks. We're decorating, Jordan says, for Christmas. Decorating what? Our house. Jordan points behind him. That's our house. Hayes looks at the house, looks at the boys, doesn't believe them. Whose house? Ours. We live here. We live at 1247 Riverside Oaks Drive. You live here? Hayes's hand moves to his belt, rests near his radio. Who's your parents? Our mom, Tanya Davis. She's at work. Uh-huh. You got any ID? Julian's eyes go wide. We're 10. Then how do I know you're telling the truth? We can show you inside, Jordan offers. His voice shakes a little. We can show you our room. Stay right there. Don't move. Hayes walks toward his patrol car, reaches for his radio. That's when Patricia Brennan steps off her porch, crosses her lawn, stands on the sidewalk with her arms crossed, watching, waiting. She wants to see this. That's when Tanya's car turns onto Riverside Oaks Drive. She sees the squad car first. Then she sees her sons, standing on their own lawn, hands visible. A police officer 10 feet away. She sees Patricia Brennan on the sidewalk, smiling. Tanya's foot hits the brake. The car jerks to a stop in her driveway. Tanya steps out of her car. She doesn't run, doesn't shout. She walks across her lawn with the same calm she uses in county board meetings. But her heart is hammering. Officer? Her voice is steady, professional. Is there a problem? Hayes turns, looks at her. Ma'am, do you live here? I do. This is my home. These are my sons. What's the issue? We received a call about suspicious activity involving... Hayes stops mid-sentence. His face changes. Wait, are you County Administrator Davis? I am. The air shifts. Hayes straightens. His hand moves away from his belt. Ma'am, we were responding to a report. Someone called about possible theft. Theft. Tanya looks at her sons, looks at the Christmas lights in their hands, looks back at Hayes. My 10-year-old son's decorating our front yard for Christmas is theft? The caller reported, who called? I can't disclose that information. Tanya's eyes move past him, to Patricia Brennan, still standing on the sidewalk, still watching. The smile is gone now, but she doesn't move, doesn't go back inside. I see, Tanya says. Are my sons being detained? No, ma'am. Are they suspected of any crime? No, ma'am. Then we're done here. Hayes gets back in his car, drives away. Patricia finally walks back to her house. She doesn't look at Tanya, doesn't apologize, just closes her door. Tanya kneels down, puts her hands on her son's shoulders. Are you two okay? Jordan nods, but his hands shake. Julian just stares at the Christmas lights scattered on the ground. Sunday morning brings the doorbell footage. The Carters live next door. Their ring camera captures the edge of Tanya's front yard. David Carter checks it after his wife mentioned seeing police cars yesterday. The timestamp tells the whole story. 2:45 p.m. Jordan and Julian walk out their front door with decorations. 3:15 p.m. 30 minutes later. A squad car arrives. David downloads the clip, posts it to the Riverside Oaks Community Facebook group with a simple caption. These kids were at their own house. Someone called the police on children decorating for Christmas. 2 hours later, the post has 200 shares. By evening, it has 2,000. The comments come fast. This is disgusting. Their children at their own house. Who does that? But not everyone agrees. If they didn't do anything wrong, why worry about the police? Better safe than sorry. This is blown out of proportion. Then someone does the math, points out the timestamp gap. Whoever called watched for 30 full minutes before dialing 911. That changes the conversation. So someone saw them to come out of the house and still call? That's not being careful, that's being racist. Sunday evening, Patricia makes her move. She posts on Nextdoor. I make no apologies. I saw suspicious activity and reported it. That's what responsible neighbors do. We have a right to feel safe. This has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with protecting our property values. I stand by my decision. The post stays up 45 minutes before moderators delete it. Too late. Dozens of people already have screenshots. Monday morning, Jordan doesn't want to go to school. What if kids saw the video? He asks. What if they think we did something wrong? Tanya tries to reassure him. You didn't do anything wrong. Then why did the police come? She has no good answer for that. Julian goes to school but comes home silent. Won't talk about his day. Won't finish decorating, just goes to his room. That night, Tanya hears him crying. She sits on his bed, holds him. I don't want to go outside anymore, Julian whispers. Baby, it's your yard. You can go outside. But what if she calls again? Monday afternoon, Channel 8 News requests a comment. Tanya declines. The police department issues a statement. Officers responded to a call and determined no crime had occurred. The matter is under internal review. Nothing about the 30-minute surveillance. Nothing about children being treated like criminals. Nothing about Patricia Brennan. But someone else is paying attention. Carmen Rodriguez sits in her Atlanta apartment scrolling through the viral video. She's an investigative journalist for the Atlanta Tribune. She specializes in police accountability, pattern stories, the kind that need public records and patience. She sees the ring footage, sees Patricia's deleted post, sees the department's empty statement. She smells something bigger than one bad call. Carmen opens her laptop, files a Freedom of Information Act request. She wants every 911 call Patricia Brennan has made in 7 years, wants dispatch records, response times, complaint patterns. This isn't just one incident. This is a system story. She just needs proof. Tuesday morning. Tanya sits at her desk reviewing police contracts. She has a meeting next week about overtime spending. She does her job, but she's also building a file. Screenshots, timestamps, documentation. Patricia Brennan picked the wrong family and the wrong mother. Thursday morning, Carmen Rodriguez publishes her first article. The headline runs across the Atlanta Tribune website at 6 a.m. Woman whose sons were profiled by a neighbor? She controls the county's entire police budget. The article is thorough. Carmen lays out Tanya's role as county administrator, explains that she oversees $82 million in county funding, details how every police salary, every vehicle, every piece of equipment passes through her office for approval. Notes that she's been pushing for bias training and accountability measures for 6 years. The police union has resisted. Every single time. By 7 a.m., the article has 10,000 shares. By 9 a.m., it's trending on Twitter. By noon, it's gone national. The comments explode. Imagine calling the cops on the boss of the cops. This is like reporting your teacher to the principal, except the teacher is the principal. That neighbor just made the worst decision of her entire life. The memes start immediately. Side-by-side photos. Patricia Brennan's next door post on the left. Tanya Davis's official county administrator photo on the right. Caption: When you weaponize the police against the person who signs their paychecks. People start Googling. Tanya's name, her position, her record. They find speeches she gave about police reform, articles about her push for independent oversight, budget proposals that increased funding for de-escalation training. They find her story: single mother, raised in the same county but a different neighborhood, worked her way through college, law degree, MBA, ran for county administrator on a platform of transparency and accountability, won by 22 points. She's not just some random mom. She's the person with actual power to change the system. And Patricia Brennan just made an enemy of her. But Carmen isn't done. The second part of her article drops at 2 p.m. This one has documents, receipts. FOIA requests take time, but Carmen filed hers on Monday. Called in favors. Pushed for expedited processing. She got what she needed. Patricia Brennan has called 911 12 times in 7 years. Carmen lists every single call with dates and brief descriptions. July 2019. Suspicious black male in neighborhood. Turned out to be a UPS driver. December 2019. Possible break-in at neighbor's house. False alarm. Nobody home. March 2020. Unknown Latino man entering residence. It was an HVAC repairman. Patricia had called him herself. She forgot. The list continues. May 2021. Group of juveniles loitering. Kids riding bikes. September 2021. Noise disturbance. Family having a barbecue at 5 p.m. on Saturday. February 2022. Abandoned vehicle. Car parked in driveway overnight. Every single call. Every single one. Targeted a person of color. Not one call about white residents. Not one. Carmen includes the percentages. Riverside Oaks is 72% white. 28% minorities. In 7 years, Patricia called police or filed HOA complaints exclusively about the 28%. The pattern is undeniable, mathematical, impossible to explain away. Social media turns on Patricia completely. Even people who defended her on Sunday go quiet. The few who try to justify it get ratioed immediately. She was just being careful doesn't work anymore. Not with 12 incidents, not with a 100% pattern. By Thursday evening, the HOA board holds an emergency meeting. It's virtual. Someone screen records it and leaks the video. Board members are careful with their words, but the message is clear. They're discussing asking Patricia to resign as president. Patricia doesn't show up to the meeting, sends her attorney instead. He reads a prepared statement. Ms. Brennan stands by her actions. She has followed all proper procedures. Any suggestion of bias is unfounded and potentially defamatory. The board votes to table the discussion. For now. Tanya Davis still hasn't made any public comment. No interviews, no statements, no social media posts. Just silence. But behind that silence, she's working. Reviewing files, making lists, building something bigger than anyone realizes. Carmen Rodriguez works fast. She's been doing this for 12 years. She knows how to dig. More importantly, she knows what to look for. Friday morning, she requests dispatch logs from Riverside County. Public records. Anyone can ask. The county has 5 business days to respond. Carmen calls the records clerk directly. Explains she's on deadline. Offers to pick up in person. The clerk agrees. Carmen drives 2 hours, returns with 3 years of dispatch records, every 911 call, every response, every timestamp. She builds a spreadsheet. The data tells a story. Response times vary wildly by zip code. Priority 2 calls. Non-emergency but requiring response. Suspicious person. Noise complaint. Welfare check. Predominantly white neighborhoods average 4.2 minutes. Predominantly black neighborhoods average 12.4 minutes. Same call type. Same priority. 3 times longer. Patricia's address specifically. 3.1 minute average. The department knows her. She calls often. They respond fast. 3 miles south in a 60% black neighborhood. Same call type averages 11.8 minutes. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Carmen publishes Saturday morning. Includes charts, maps, color-coded visuals. The disparity is undeniable. Wealthier, whiter zip codes get faster service. The article goes viral. Local news picks it up. Regional outlets follow. By evening, CNN mentions it. Sunday afternoon, Carmen receives an anonymous email. Subject line, "You need to see this." Attached is a PDF. 63 pages. Officer Brandon Hayes' personnel file. She verifies authenticity with 3 sources. All confirm it's real. Officer Brandon Hayes. 34 years old. 9 years with the department. 6 formal complaints. All allege racial bias. All involve children of color. April 2019. Hayes detained a 12-year-old black girl for truancy. She was walking home from school at 3 p.m. School let out at 2:45. He made her wait 20 minutes while he verified she was a student. Complaint sustained. Written reprimand. November 2020. Hayes questioned a 9-year-old Latino boy at a park, asked if he had permission to be there. The parents were 30 feet away. Complaint sustained. Written reprimand. June 2022. Hayes handcuffed an 11-year-old black boy. Shoplifting call. The description was black male 5'8" to 6'2" wearing dark clothing. The boy was 4'9" wearing a bright yellow shirt. Detained 40 minutes. Wrong person. Complaint sustained. Written reprimand. 7 total complaints. All sustained by Internal Affairs. Sustained complaints are rare. Less than 8% of complaints filed ever get sustained. Hayes has 7. But he received only written reprimands. The union grieved any suspension attempt. Contract requires progressive discipline. Written warning. Counseling. Suspension. Termination. Hayes collected 7 warnings. Never advanced to the next step. The union reset his record every 18 months per contract. He's still on patrol. Still responds to calls involving children. Carmen publishes Monday. Officer who confronted 10-year-olds has 7 prior complaints involving minority children. All sustained. No real discipline. The police union responds within 2 hours. Officer Hayes has served with distinction for 9 years. These allegations are cherry-picked and taken out of context. We will not allow good officers to be crucified by the media for political purposes. They don't address the pattern. Don't explain why all 7 involve children of color. Monday evening, Carmen publishes the HVAC incident. She obtained the 911 recording from 2020. Patricia's voice is clear. Confidence. There's a Latino man trying to break into my neighbor's house, using tools, trying to pry open a window. I need someone now. Officers respond in 2.8 minutes. Lights and sirens. High priority. They find Marco Gutierrez installing an air conditioning unit. He has a work order. Company identification. A truck with Precision HVAC painted on the side parked in the driveway. The homeowner confirms she hired him. Told neighbors, including Patricia, someone would be working. Patricia claims she forgot. Apologizes to officers. Not to Marco. Marco quit 2 weeks later. Told his supervisor he didn't feel safe in that neighborhood. The company stopped taking jobs in Riverside Oaks. Carmen finds Marco. Interviews him. I was doing my job. Had my work order. Had my company shirt on. She looked at me and decided I was a criminal. Because of how I look. Tuesday brings the financial connection. Patricia's husband, Gerald Brennan, owns a property management company. He sits on the board of Concerned Citizens for Law Enforcement, a political action committee funding police union activities. Federal records show Gerald donated $22,000 over 2 years. The PAC funds campaigns, endorsements, attack ads against reform candidates. The same union that protected Hayes 7 times receives funding from Patricia's household. When Hayes faces discipline, the union decides whether to grieve. Gerald has influence there. The circle of protection becomes visible. Wednesday, Carmen finds the lawsuit. Civil court records from 2021. Filed March. Dismissed July with confidential settlement. The plaintiffs were the Washington family, black family. Lived 2 houses from Patricia. Moved in January 2021. By March, they were suing for harassment. The complaint detailed Patricia's behavior. Weekly HOA violations filed against them. Photos taken of their property, their children, their cars, notes left on their door. Police called for noise parties and music gatherings. The Washingtons proved every complaint was false or selectively applied. White neighbors had identical issues. No complaints filed. Patricia targeted them exclusively. Case settled. Terms confidential. The Washingtons moved out in August 2021, 6 months after arriving. Carmen contacts them. Mrs. Washington talks in the background. The settlement has non-disclosure terms, but she confirms the story. We wanted to raise our kids in a nice neighborhood. She made it hell. Every day something new. We left for our mental health. By Wednesday evening, Carmen has published 7 articles in 5 days, each backed by documents, recordings, court filings, data. She's not editorializing, just presenting facts. The pattern speaks for itself. 12 911 calls over 7 years. 100% targeting people of color. 7 sustained complaints against Hayes, all involving minority children. 22,000 in political donations to the union protecting him. 1 harassment lawsuit. Response time disparities across racial lines. It's not one bad call anymore. It's a system, a pattern, a machine that criminalizes black and brown people while protecting those who do it. Tanya Davis still hasn't made a public statement, but Wednesday night she sends Carmen an email. Subject line, "Thank you." The message is brief. "Your work matters. Please keep going." Carmen replies, "I'm not done yet." She has one more source, one more thread to pull, and this one is going to change everything. Thursday morning, Patricia Brennan hires a lawyer, Richard Walsh, partner at Walsh & Associates, 48 years old, expensive suits, reputation for aggressive tactics. He specializes in defamation cases, protecting clients from media attacks. By noon, a cease and desist letter arrives at the Atlanta Tribune, sent via email and certified mail. 6 pages, legal letterhead. The letter alleges defamation, false light, invasion of privacy, demands immediate retraction of all articles about Patricia Brennan, demands public apology, threatens $250,000 in damages if demands aren't met within 72 hours. Carmen's editor calls her into his office, shows her the letter. "How solid is your sourcing?" "Everything's documented. Public records, court filings, 911 recordings. I can prove every fact." "That's not what I asked. Can you prove it in court? Because litigation could cost us 6 figures even if we win." Carmen doesn't blink. "We're not retracting anything." Her editor sighs, nods. "Okay. I'll call our lawyers." The same letter arrives at Tanya's county office. Same threats, same timeline. Alleges she coordinated with the media to defame Patricia. Suggests ethics violation. Implies she's abusing her position for personal vendetta. Tanya reads it once, files it, doesn't respond. But other people are responding. Thursday afternoon, the police union holds a press conference. Gerald Price, union spokesperson, 55 years old, 28 years on the force, retired sergeant. He stands at a podium with the union logo behind him. "We're here today because a good officer is being attacked. Officer Brandon Hayes has served this community with distinction for 9 years. Every complaint against him was thoroughly investigated. Every allegation was addressed through proper channels. The union exists to ensure due process. We will not stand by while officers are crucified in the media." A reporter asks about the 7 sustained complaints. Price dismisses it. Sustained doesn't mean guilty. It means the complaint process was followed. Officer Hayes was never found to have violated policy. These are routine personnel matters being weaponized. Another reporter asks about the pattern. All 7 complaints involved children of color. Price's jaw tightens. That's a disgusting insinuation. Officer Hayes doesn't see color. He sees threats and non-threats. That's his job. The press conference shifts tone. Price goes on offense. "We need to talk about the real issue here. County Administrator Tanya Davis has a clear political agenda. She's been pushing anti-police policies for years. Our union has consistently opposed her overreach. Now suddenly her family has an incident, and the media launches a coordinated attack. That's not journalism. That's retaliation." He doesn't say Tanya orchestrated it. He doesn't have to. The implication hangs in the air. County official uses media connections to punish political enemies. By evening, the narrative starts shifting. Online comments change tone. Wait, so the county administrator controls police funding and now she's targeting officers through the press? This feels coordinated. Maybe the union has a point about political motivation. The county board starts getting calls, emails, pressure. 3 board members face re-election in 18 months. Police union endorsements matter. Campaign contributions matter. Friday morning, 2 board members call Tanya. Different calls, same message. We support you, but maybe you should step back. Let internal affairs handle the investigation. Avoid any appearance of impropriety. Translation: stop making waves. Stop causing problems. Let this blow over. Tanya tells them both the same thing. I'm doing my job, nothing more. But the pressure doesn't stop. Anonymous emails arrive at her office account. You think you're untouchable because of your job. You're not. Another one. Your kids aren't safe. Watch your back. County security traces the IPs, VPN services, dead ends. They recommend precautions. Tanya declines personal security but agrees to office monitoring. The worst part isn't the threats to her. It's what's happening at home. Jordan stopped decorating. The Christmas lights sit in boxes in the garage, half finished, abandoned. He won't talk about it, won't explain, just says he doesn't feel like it anymore. Julian is worse. Tuesday, he refused to go to school. Wednesday, he went but came home early. Stomachache, headache. Thursday, his teacher called. Julian had a panic attack during recess. Sat in the corner, hyperventilating. The school counselor had to intervene. Friday afternoon, Tanya picks him up early, brings him home, sits with him on the couch. He's 10 years old. He should be thinking about video games and basketball and what he wants for Christmas. Instead, he asks, Mom, can I be white? The question breaks her. Baby, no. Why would you ask that? Because if I was white, that lady would have believed me. She would have known we lived there. The police would have believed me too. Tanya has no answer. No words that make this better. Julian continues. Quieter now. I hate being black. I hate that people look at me and think I'm bad. I didn't do anything wrong, but everyone thinks I did. Not everyone thinks that. Enough people do. That night, Tanya can't sleep. She sits at her kitchen table, reviews everything. The articles, the threats, the union's press conference, her son's faces. She thinks about stepping back, letting this go. The board wants her to. The union wants her to. Even her allies are wavering. If she stops now, her sons get peace. The pressure ends. Life goes back to normal. Jordan and Julian can just be kids again. But if she stops now, nothing changes. Patricia faces no consequences. Hayes keeps his badge. The next black family moves to Riverside Oaks, and the same thing happens. Her phone buzzes. Text from Carmen. Call me. I found something. You need to hear this. Tanya stares at the message. She could ignore it, could tell Carmen to stop digging, could make this all go away. Instead, she calls back. Carmen's voice is steady on the phone. I got the body cam footage, full recording. Hayes talked to Patricia before approaching the kids. You need to hear what she said. Send it to me, Tanya says. I will. But there's something else. I filed a request for your original footage request, the one you submitted as county administrator. They told me about a technical issue. Footage wasn't available. They lied. The request log shows your submission was received, logged, assigned, then marked fulfilled with a note about technical limitations. But the footage exists. I got it through the Tribune's separate request. Someone deliberately blocked you. Who signed off? Captain Morrison. Reports directly to the chief. Tanya sits in her dark kitchen processing this. The department she oversees, the budget she approves, they deliberately denied her request for footage involving her own children. Saturday morning, Jordan sits at breakfast. Doesn't eat. Pushes cereal around his bowl.
You okay? Tanya asks.
He shrugs. Kids at school saw the videos, asked me about it.
What did you say?
I said it was a misunderstanding, but it wasn't. He looks up, eyes wet. That lady watched us for 30 minutes, saw us come out of our house. She called anyway. That's not a misunderstanding, that's on purpose. Tanya has no counter. He's right. Julian appears in the doorway, still in pajamas. 10 a.m. Normally he's up by 7. Now he just stays in bed. Baby, you need to eat something, Tanya says. I'm not hungry. You didn't eat dinner last night either. I said I'm not hungry. Voice cracks. He turns, goes back to his room. The door closes. Tanya follows. Knocks. Julian, can I come in? No answer. She opens anyway. Julian is curled up on his bed, face to the wall. She sits on the edge, hand on his shoulder. Talk to me. I don't want to go outside anymore. It's okay to go outside, it's your yard. But people are watching. What if she calls again? What if next time they don't believe you? What if they take us away? Nobody's taking you away. You don't know that. He rolls over, looks at her. 10 years old with eyes that hold too much fear. You're important. You have a big job. They still didn't believe you. If they don't believe you, they won't believe us. Then he asks about it. The question that breaks her completely. Mom, can I be white? If I was white, she would have believed me. The police would have believed me. I hate being black. I hate that people look at me and think I'm bad. Tanya pulls him close, feels his body shaking. He's crying, really crying. The kind that comes from somewhere deep and broken. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. But it feels like it is. Later that afternoon, she stands in the garage, boxes of Christmas decorations half used, abandoned, inflatable Santa still in packaging, extension cords tangled. She thinks about her own childhood, growing up 3 miles south, different neighborhoods, different world, followed in stores. Her brother stopped by police walking home from school. Her mother's face explained why people saw them differently. She worked her entire life so her sons wouldn't need those conversations, so they could just be kids. She failed. Her phone rings. Carmen. Did you listen to the body cam audio? Not yet. Listen to it. Then call me back. What Patricia said on that tape. Tanya, it's worse than we thought, but it's also exactly what we need. Sunday morning, Carmen publishes the body cam transcript. The article includes timestamps, full quotes, context for every exchange. The key moment comes at minute 2. Hayes arrives, gets out of his car. Patricia approaches before he even reaches the boys. Thank you for coming so fast, Patricia says. Her voice is clear on the recording. Those two have been here for over 30 minutes. I watched them come out, but I wanted to make sure you could catch them in the act. You saw them exit the residence? Hayes asks. Yes, but they don't live there. I know everyone on this street. How do you know they don't live there? Patricia pauses, just for a second. Because the family that lives there doesn't have children who look like that. Hayes doesn't challenge this. Don't ask what she means. Just nods. Walks toward Jordan and Julian. The transcript goes viral in minutes. She admitted she saw them come out of the house. She watched for 30 minutes and called anyway. This is premeditated harassment. By noon, the comment sections explode. But something different happens. People start sharing their own stories. This happened to my son in our neighborhood. He was 7. My daughter was questioned for playing in our own yard. The police didn't believe her. We moved out of a neighborhood because one woman called the police on us 5 times in 3 months. Carmen sees the pattern, posts a request. If you've experienced similar incidents in Riverside County or surrounding areas, please contact me. Your story matters. Within 48 hours, 31 families reach out. Carmen verifies each one, asks for documentation, police reports, HOA complaints, emails, text messages, anything with dates and details. 23 provide documentation. 8 more have witnesses willing to confirm. Carmen builds a database, creates a timeline, maps the incidents geographically. The pattern is undeniable. Not all involve Patricia, but they all involve the same dynamic. White residents calling police on black and brown families for normal activities, playing in yards, walking dogs, having barbecues, existing. Monday morning, Diane Foster calls Tanya. Diane is president of the Riverside County NAACP chapter. 52 years old, retired teacher. She's been tracking these incidents for years. We want to help, Diane says. Legal support, documentation, whatever you need. Tanya hesitates. She's been handling this quietly, professionally. Going public feels different. I have 31 families ready to tell their stories, Diane continues. Most of them are terrified, but they're willing if you are. Because you have something they don't. Power, position, the ability to make people listen. What are you proposing? The county board meeting, January 3rd. It's already scheduled. Open to public comment. We request time on the agenda. Present evidence, testimony. Make them act. Tanya thinks about her sons, about Julian's question, about Jordan's fear, about the other families who moved away, who stayed quiet, who thought they were alone. Okay, she says. Let's do it. Tuesday morning, Carmen receives an anonymous email, different sender than the Hayes personnel file. This one includes a phone number. She calls it. The voice is male, careful. I'm an officer. I can't give my name, but you need to know something. We're pressured to make contacts. Stop people. Write reports. Quotas aren't official, but everyone knows they exist, and certain neighborhoods are easier targets. Residents complain more. The department responds faster, creates justification for presence. Which neighborhoods? The ones where people like Patricia Brennan live. They call. We respond. They call again. We responded again. It becomes a feedback loop. Officers learn where to patrol, who to stop, what gets rewarded. Why are you telling me this? Because I have kids. And what happened to those boys? That could have been prevented. Should have been. But the system doesn't want prevention. It wants activity, numbers. And some of us are tired of being part of it. He hangs up. Carmen sits with the information, tries to verify it through other sources. 2 more officers confirm the record. Same story. Pressure to produce. Certain neighborhoods expected to generate more contacts. Wednesday, Carmen's article hits the Washington Post. National coverage. The headline reads, When the county administrator's sons get profiled, a community finds its voice. The story is everywhere. Morning shows, cable news, social media trends. Suddenly, Riverside County isn't a local story. It's a national conversation. Thursday, Tanya receives a letter. The county board confirms her request. January 3rd, public hearing. Topic: Review of incident involving county administrator's family and potential policy recommendations. She has 11 days to prepare. December 28th, 2 days before the hearing. Carmen calls Tanya at 7 a.m. I need you to listen to something. The full body cam audio, not the transcript, the actual recording. Carmen sends the file. Tanya downloads it, puts in earbuds, press play. Hayes exits his vehicle. Footsteps on pavement. Patricia's voice, eager, almost excited. Thank you for coming so fast. Those 2 have been here for over 30 minutes. Tanya hears her sons in the background, distant, singing jingle bells, laughing. Then comes the part that makes her blood go cold. Officer, I need to be direct. Patricia's voice drops. Confidential. These boys don't belong here. I don't mean just that house. I mean this neighborhood. Period. Their kind doesn't belong in Riverside Oaks. We've worked too hard to maintain certain standards. If we let this continue, property values will tank. Do you understand? I understand, Hayes says. Good. Because I've called before about this family and nothing gets done. I need you to make this uncomfortable enough that they think twice about staying. Tanya stops the recording. Replay it. Patricia didn't call because she thought they were stealing. She called to drive them out. She said it explicitly. On camera. Tanya calls Carmen back. Does the Tribune have this? Publishing tomorrow morning. But there's more. I got the 911 metadata from the phone company. Patricia called at 3:15 and 18 seconds p.m. Your doorbell camera shows Jordan and Julian exiting at 2:45 and 3 seconds. Tanya does the math. 30 minutes. Exactly. She watched them for half an hour. Watched them come out of your house, carrying decorations, setting things up. After 30 minutes, she reported theft in progress. That's premeditated. That's filing a false report. That's harassment. And we can prove every second with phone records and timestamps. Carmen continues. One more thing. HOA emails. Someone on the board leaked them. Patricia sent this to 3 board members in October. The Davis family thinks they can just move into Riverside Oaks like they own the place. We need to make it clear they're not welcome. There are ways to handle this without being obvious. I'm working on it. She was planning this, Tanya says, for months. Another email from November. Tried the HOA violation route. She's too smart. I need a different approach, thinking about involving authorities. That usually motivates people to relocate. Tanya feels something shift inside her. For weeks, she's been defensive, reactive, protecting her sons, trying to keep her head down. Now she's done being defensive. Send me everything, Tanya tells Carmen. Every recording, every email, every timestamp, every document. What are you going to do? I'm going to that hearing, and I'm going to show the county board exactly what they've been protecting. The union is going to fight this. They've already threatened lawsuits. Let them. I have 19 pieces of evidence. What do they have? When do you present? January 3rd, 2 p.m. Patricia Brennan will be there. The board subpoenaed her this morning. Carmen is quiet for a moment. She's going to try to defend herself. I know, but her own words are going to convict her. Her voice on that body cam saying, their kind doesn't belong here. Her emails to the board planning to drive us out. The metadata proving she watched for 30 minutes. She can't explain any of it. This is going to be brutal. Good, Tanya says. It should be. She hangs up, opens her laptop, starts building her presentation. 19 exhibits, 19 receipts, each one numbered. Each one is documented. Each one is undeniable. Patricia Brennan weaponized the police against her children. Now Tanya is going to show exactly what that looks like. In public, on the record, with consequences. January 3rd, 2 p.m. The county board chambers are packed. Every seat filled. People standing along the walls. Media cameras in the back. Diane Foster sits in the front row with 30 families behind her. Carmen Rodriguez has her laptop open, taking notes. Patricia Brennan sits on the left side. Her attorney, Richard Walsh, beside her. She's wearing a navy suit. Pearls. Hair perfect. Face blank. Tanya sits at the staff table. Not as a grieving mother. As county administrator. Navy blazer. White blouse. A folder in front of her. 19 numbered exhibits inside. The board chair calls the meeting to order. We're here to review the incident involving County Administrator Davis's family and discuss potential policy recommendations. Ms. Davis, you have the floor. Tanya stands, opens her folder. Her voice is calm, steady, professional. Thank you. This isn't about one incident. It's about a system that enables repeated violations without consequence. She walks through the evidence methodically. Exhibit 1. Patricia's 12 911 calls over 7 years, 100% targeting minorities. Exhibit 2. Dispatch data showing response time disparities. 4.2 minutes for white neighborhoods, 12.4 minutes for black neighborhoods. Exhibit 3. Officer Hayes's personnel file. 7 sustained complaints, all involving children of color. 0 meaningful discipline. Exhibit 4. The body cam audio. She plays a 15-second clip. Patricia's voice fills the chamber. Their kind doesn't belong in Riverside Oaks. I need you to make this uncomfortable enough that they think twice about staying. The room goes silent. Patricia stares at the table. Doesn't look up. Exhibit 5. The 911 metadata. Tanya displays the timestamps on the overhead screen. Call placed at 3:15:18 p.m. Boys exited the house at 2:45:03 p.m. 30 minutes and 15 seconds. Patricia Brennan watched my sons for half an hour, watched them come out of our home, watched them decorate, then called the police and reported the theft. That's not a mistake. That's malice. Exhibit 6 through 16. The pattern continues. HOA emails, political donations, the harassment lawsuit, the HVAC incident, each receipt stacked on the last. Tanya finishes, sits down. The board chair opens the floor for public comment. Diane Foster speaks first, presents the compilation from 31 families. 3 families tell their stories. A mother whose 8-year-old son was questioned in their own yard. A father whose son was detained for riding his bike. Another mother whose daughter asked the same question Julian asked. Can I be white? The testimony takes 40 minutes. Not emotional outbursts. Measured, documented accounts. The cumulative weight is crushing. The board chair turns to Patricia. Ms. Brennan, do you wish to respond? Richard Walsh stands. My client declines to make a statement at this time. However, we dispute the characterization of these incidents. Ms. Brennan exercised her right to report concerns. She maintains she acted appropriately. A board member asks, did she or did she not say their kind doesn't belong here on that recording? Walsh hesitates. We're reviewing the audio for context. It's a yes or no question. No. Walsh sits down. Doesn't answer. The police union representative speaks. Gerald Price reads a prepared statement. Officer Hayes followed protocol. The union maintains proper procedures were followed. We respect the board's authority to review policy, but we will vigorously defend our members. The board deliberates in closed session for 30 minutes. Returns with a decision. Officer Hayes was reassigned to administrative duty pending full investigation. Outcome: termination after arbitration hearing. Patricia Brennan referred to the district attorney for criminal investigation. Charges: filing false police reports, harassment, potential hate crime enhancement, new policy adopted. Riverside County Fair Call Act. Independent Civilian Review Board for all bias complaints. Criminal penalties for knowingly false 911 calls motivated by discrimination. Budget allocation: $180,000 for the Oversight Office. Vote: 6-1. Tanya gives a brief statement. This policy won't undo what happened to my sons, but it might prevent it from happening to someone else's children. That's the goal. No celebration. This is the beginning of implementation, not the end. The gavel comes down. 60 days later, Officer Brandon Hayes is terminated. Internal Affairs investigation concludes. Union grieves. The arbitrator sides with the county. Pattern of misconduct documented. Precedent set. Patricia Brennan is charged with 3 counts of filing false reports. 1 count of criminal harassment. She pleads no contest. Receives a sentence. $50,000 fine. 200 hours of community service. Probation. Her name trends nationally for a week, then fades. She lists her house February 10th, sells March 3rd, moves out of state, Riverside Oaks never sees her again. The Fair Call Act is adopted by 5 neighboring counties within 90 days. Featured in national police reform discussions. Becomes a model. Saturday, February 15th. Mid-morning sun. Jordan and Julian are in the front yard, decorating for Valentine's Day. Red and pink hearts, Cupid cutouts, string lights shaped like roses. They asked to do this. First time volunteering to be outside in 2 months. Tanya watches from the window, hears them laughing, arguing about where the big heart should go. Normal sibling stuff. Julian runs inside. Mom, can we do Easter decorations too, with the big bunny? Absolutely, he grins. Runs back out. She controlled the police budget. Now her sons can decorate their yard without fear. If this story reminded you why documentation matters, why speaking up matters, hit that subscribe button. Share this with every parent who's had to explain racism to their child. Drop a comment. Have you ever had to have this conversation? How did you handle it? 31 families, 19 receipts, 1 changed system. That's not revenge, that's accountability. See you in the next one. Until then, let kids be kids.